In today's video, I'm gonna be re-editing the new YEAT music video that just dropped a few days ago, featuring Convo and Benny X. The song is a total banger, and the visuals are already crazy, but I wanted to bring it into After Effects and completely re-edit it on my own style and add my own sauce into it. So yeah, this video will be really interesting, so stick around till the end to know all the sauce. And also, to save time while making this edit, I'll be using a lot of my packs like Essential FX bundle and the overlay bundle and many more to like make my workflow faster. So it will be linked in the description if you want to download. And I will also link my all-in-one bundle where you can get all of my packs 60% off. So the all-in-one bundle is a complete steal. It is not lasting forever though, so hurry up and grab it in the description. But without wasting any more time, let's just get into the video. So in my timeline, you can see I have these clips right here, all of these clips. It is like a 30-second part from the whole music video. So yeah, I will be adding VFX on all of these clips. So if I play the first clip, you can see it has a lot of energy already, but I hear a lot of like 808s in here. So if I bring up the waveform right here, you can hear all of these 808s in the songs. So right here, I like to add a bunch of shake just to like enhance those, and I think it will look really hard. At this part, I think I'm gonna roto him out and just like maybe do something with random edits or something like that, because the 808 going back to back, so yeah, it will look really hard on that. But right now, let's just add a shake right here. So for that, I'll make an adjustment layer real quick on top and trim it to the clip size. And right here, I'm gonna open my FX and presets, and you can use your own shake preset on here. And if you don't already know how to make shake, I'll leave a tutorial down below. It's really simple, so yeah, just follow the tutorial and you'll get a really cool shake going on. But anyways, as I said, you can use your own preset in here, but I like to open up the Essential FX V2 and the V1, and from here you can add some shakes. So for me, I'm gonna add the Asim Best iconic shake right here, and just hit U to bring up the keyframes and just align the keyframes right here and just trim it at the beginning so it acts as an in keyframe right here. And now if I play that through, you can see that's a really hard of a shake, as you can see, and it looks seamless and goes hard with the 808. And then I think I'm gonna duplicate it once more right here. So I'm gonna make a cut right here between these two 808s right here, and then selecting this part, right click, go to pre-comp and hit move all attributes into a new comp and then hit OK. And right here, you can make it slow-mo by adding something like a time warp in here and lower down the like speed. But what I like to do is use my own preset in here from the V2. I'll use fast to slow-mo preset right here, and what it will do is basically like add a fast motion at the beginning. Like these are the keyframes, so it will add a fast motion at the beginning, and as it goes, it will go into slow-mo, which will look really hard with this footage. So if I play that through, you can see it adds a lot of energy right there. And in this part, I think I'm gonna replace the shake with something more impactful. So maybe something like horizontal wiggle transition right here and lining that up right here. And with that, I think that adds a lot of energy right there. And also right here, I'm gonna add another adjustment layer and use something like an in V2 in here to add a little zoom in here as it goes. And also holding Option or Alt in my keyboard, I'm gonna remove the expression from here and actually just set the anchor point to his eye point. So yeah, so behind the scene, if I turn off the shake right here, you can see it is basically like a zoom like that, and with the shake it looks really seamless. I'm also remove the exposure from the shake, and now if I play that through, you can see that looks really hard. Even you can add something like a hue and saturation on your like the separated clip, and also add like a curves and adjust that accordingly. Oh my gosh, that actually looks really hard with the saturation lowered down. Now in this part, what I like to do is actually duplicate this footage and mute it firstly and just quickly rotoscope out my subject. So let me just do that real quick. And then after you rotoscope out your subject good, make sure to freeze it real quick. And then after you freeze it, go back into a composition. And right here, you can refine the actual like marks right here, something like that. And here's the sauce comes in the background layer. I'm gonna add something like a random sapphire random edits right here and make the amount to something like 1. And now if you press that through, you can see we have this really cool like flicker effect, like an image flicker effect, and actually add a hue and saturation on here and lower it down. down, and also combine something like a RSMB in here, turn on the GPU, and I'm gonna just scale it up to hide all those like ugly borders that's showing through. At this part it is looking really hard, but after this it is going off the bed. So to fix that, let me just add an adjustment layer and use something like a hotspot with it, so I can just like black it out as it goes. Or if you don't want to do this, I'm gonna just use my like pack. I totally forgot I have a preset made already, so let me just add something like a hotspot v2 in here, so as it goes it like blacks out. And if you want to download Essential Effects, the link will be in the description, of course. And right here, to transition it through, I'm gonna add another adjustment layer on top of and use something like a flicker right here, flicker in. And now if I play our first scene, you can see it looks really hard. So we can move on to our second scene right here. Now in second scene, I like to copy this shake right here in the beginning. And in this scene, actually I'm gonna leave it something like, but when it says diamond, let me just rotoscope out his diamonds right here. So I'm gonna just like pre-comp this clip real quick. Pre-comp, move all attributes, go into the pre-comp and quickly rotoscope out his chain right here. So let me just do that real quick. I'm going to freeze the rotoscope real quick, then duplicate it and delete the rotoscope from the bottom layer, and of course mute it right here. And in this rotoscope, the chain rotoscope, I'm gonna add a effect called optical glow to glow it up. So bring up the size and lower down the amount, and also gotta change the alpha channel so it goes to extended almost. Now we're just gonna simply keyframe the amount so it actually like shines on point when it says like diamonds. So around like here, I'm gonna glow it up more or something like that. Bring up the size more and set the color to whatever you like as well. It goes out, I'm gonna also lower it down so it looks realistic. Then I'm gonna open my Finder right here and use my overlay pack, the 2D Audition, and open up something like lens dot right here, lens dot, and use some of these lens dot overlay that I got right here. I'm gonna use the one PNG right here. Bring up the size and setting the blending mode to linear dots to remove all the black. And then we also gonna keyframe the opacity on here, and as it goes, just lower it down so it actually like interacts with the scene. As you can see, it looks really hard. And also I'm gonna select my background layer real quick and hit this opacity in there as well. And as it goes, I'm gonna just lower down the opacity so like our background layer gets a little dark, and bring it back up at the end. And with that, you can see it is looking something like this. Looks really hard. Now at this scene, I have a really cool idea because he's talking about money and diamonds. So what I like to do is select this scene and pre-comp it real quick. So we're gonna pre-comp it and add something like a fast to slow-mo preset in here and make it really like it's really fast or something like that. So we get this really cool time warp right here. And then I'm gonna go into the pre-comp and go over to composition settings and just bring up the duration real quick. So I'm gonna set it to 30 and go back into the scene, and you can see we got the clip more throughout our scene. So that's exactly what we want. Around like here in the hit, we're gonna trim it. So, and in this scene, we're gonna add some 3D money. So for that, I'm gonna use my pack again, but this time I'm gonna open up my like the overlay pack, the 3D Audition. This time I'm gonna link the bundle so you can grab both of these on a deal. So I'm gonna open the 3D Audition this time and use some money overlay in here. So I got a lot in here. If you go through from here, you can use any overlay that you like, but I'm gonna use something like a money horizontal fast, drag it into my timeline right above that and lower down the scale. So with this, you can see we get this really cool money overlay on it. Looks really hard. And what you can also do is like bring up the speed of this, so time stretch, and make it 50. And now we have played that through, you can see the money overlay actually looks really hard. But to make it more realistic, we gotta compose it for sure. So let me just organize my clips real quick right here so everything is clear to you. And then I'm gonna pre-comp this right here, pre-comp this. Going into the pre-comp, I'll firstly add something like a drop shadow in here and bring up the softness as well. And then in my background, I'm gonna add a camera lens blur, keyframe it real quick to something like this. And we also gonna add a camera blur on our money layer at the beginning and bring it up at the beginning, and as it goes, just keyframe it so it goes out. And now in this money comp, you can also add something like RSMB to give some motion blur in here. Looks really hard. Then you can also add something like a curve to like pop it out and match your scene. And lastly, a glow to top it all off. And now if you go back into our main comp and see this comp, as you can see, see it looks really insane. And now in here with it, you can add something like a text in here. So I'm gonna add clear, lower down the size. Actually, I guess he's saying diamond kiss, right? Let me just take the real lyrics real quick. So okay, he's saying diamond gone kiss, so something like this, and also all caps, and lower down the size. And in this text as well, we're gonna add a optical glow, bring up the size, and set the outer tint to whatever you like, so something like this. And I'm gonna change the alpha channel, add a drop shadow with it, and then at top I'm gonna add an adjustment layer, and to transition all through we're gonna use a flicker. So we're gonna be using something like flicker in right here. And then I'm gonna add another adjustment layer, add something like a blur more curves with it. So we're gonna add a blur more curves and make a zoom animation real quick with a flow graph, something like this. And now if you play that through, you can see the zoom animation actually looking really hard. To fit it, I'm gonna lower down the scale of everything basically, and even add something like a hotspot in my background as it goes in the pre-comp. So we're gonna just like add a hotspot as it goes, and lower down the size of this as well. And now if we play it all together, now you can see it is looking really hard. I really actually love this comp because it turned out really cool. Now moving on, we got two like 808 hits right here. For this, I'm gonna add another adjustment layer and use something like a best wheel from my Essential FX V1, and that looks hard, but I'm gonna add another adjustment layer in here and add a framer 3 before that, so it looks even more harder. You can see if I play that with the flicker, it gives a different texture in there, which I really love. So yeah, that's what I love about it. And in the scene, I don't see much, so what I'm gonna do is add a text layer and just like write down the lyrics real quick. So this is the lyrics right here. I just wrote it down, and we're gonna set this at the bottom right here like that, lowering down the size more, so I like here. And now from my Essential FX V2, actually I'm gonna add the text animation 2 in here. This basically does is makes this like really cool like in and out text animation. Looks really hard, as you can see. And with it, I like to combine glow, so I'm gonna go deep glow this time and adjust it according to your liking. And now if you play that through, you can see it is looking really cool with that glow, as you can see. And right here, to transition into our another scene, we're gonna use a framer, something like that. And right here in this scene, we're gonna add an adjustment layer on top and use a flicker in, so it like transition through. And this is actually a VHS tape, so we can't do much in here, so I'm gonna just skip this part. But right here we got a really cool sequence. It already got mixed media in there, so I can't do much, so I'm just gonna separate it so it is two different clips, so we can work on only this. And we're gonna make a single comp in here, go into the comp, and right here I'm gonna make an adjustment layer and add a shake right here. I'm gonna go for the Asim iconic shake and line that up right there. And right where he says too rich, I'm gonna make a text and lower down the size, type out the lyrics too rich, and just last it so it lasts only on the slow-mo before the 808s. And right here we're gonna do the same thing as the last time. We're gonna use a zoom with some effects to like enhance it. So let me just do that real quick. So we're gonna make an adjustment layer, and actually we're gonna use a blur more curves right here and just make a like a zoom out transition right here. So I'm gonna use the zoom disc, animate it to make a zoom out animation, something like this, and bring up the size animation like that. And right here we're gonna use a graph like this, so it actually like zooms out as it goes. And in the same adjustment layer, we're gonna add a optic compensation, reverse the lens, and just animate it as well. So as it goes, we're just gonna make it something like this, so it goes into a crazy amount, yeah, something like that. And bring up the keyframe, and maybe just add the same graph in here so it acts accordingly. Now don't worry about this blank space, because we're gonna make a black solid right here. So make a black solid, and I'm gonna add something like a CC jaws in here. Add a CC jaws and set the shape to block and lower down the height and hit the stopwatch in there and bring it up at the first, and as it goes just lower it down to create a boxing animation like this. Now it's all about like just playing around and getting to our liking. And we're gonna ease the keyframe of the like the CC jaws and make a similar graph in here, so something like this. And now if you play that through, you can see we get this really cool zoom out animation with the text. Looks really hard, I feel like. Now with it, we actually gonna add the flicker in here as well. So make a adjustment layer on top, and right where the text comes in, I'ma add the flicker in right here, and in the background layer before that we're gonna make an adjustment layer and just lower down the saturation and just play around with some curves to get it to your liking, maybe something like this. And right here we can use that same money overlay that we used before on here as well, so lowering down the size and putting it before all of these. And we actually gonna put this money overlay before our like the black and white adjustment layer so it fits with the scene. And in here you can also add a camera blur on the top of that, focuses on our text, and in our text I'm gonna add a deep glow. And now if you play that through, you can see it is looking really dope. So in here this looks really basic, so what I like to do is copy my like this original clip and put it before all of our clips right here, mute it, and actually pre-comp it real quick, pre-comp. And then we're gonna hit option on our keyboard, hold option or alt in Windows and just drag it in so it speeds up itself, as you can see. And then we can reverse the speed right here, go over to time and time reverse, and now you can see it is reversed now. Then we can pre-comp it again one more time, and right here you can add FX like RSMB or posterize time to like lower down the frame rate of it, so add it to something like 16, and now you can see it looks even more cooler. And then a flicker to top it all off. To transition into this scene, we're gonna make an adjustment layer and use the framer again. We're gonna use the framer 3, so add framer 3 in here, and now you can see the ending looks really hard. Then if we go back into our main comp and play it all together, you can see that goes really hard. I really love that. So now real quick we're gonna recap the whole edit right now. You can see it is looking really absolutely dope. Now I'm just gonna go through the video and speed run it because the recording is already an hour right now. The video might be short because I will chop it up a bunch, but the recording is already an hour in. So yeah, I'm just gonna like go all in after this really fast. All these clips we didn't gotta do much because it already got a lot of VHS in there, so we're gonna leave that right there. But in this scene, pre-comp it right here, comp it, and go into this comp, and we're gonna add an adjustment layer, and as it goes we're gonna add a blur more curves, and we're gonna put that on Beniac's face and just like zoom it in as it goes so it grabs the flow basically. So zoom it in something like this and select both of those keyframes, and I'm gonna add a graph like this in here. And in this scene I'm gonna add a little bit of texture in there, so for that I'm gonna add something like a black and white right here, and put that I'm gonna add a flicker at the start, so a flicker something like this, and I guess that looks really hard. And now it goes into the YEAT shot. Now we are halfway in the edit and I showed you all the process, so through this halfway I'm just gonna speed run it and make a like a time-lapse montage because the video is getting too long already and I don't want it to be like super time consuming to y'all. So yeah, now I'll get started on all of these clips. Like I'll speed run all of this and see y'all after that. And now finally, after this last take right here, I'm gonna don't add FX on these because it is like an outro clip, so I don't want to like overcook it. And with that, I think our YEAT edit is done. And now if I play it through, it is looking something like this. And if you're wondering to create that, tell you again, like the 3D text, I use my own 3D pack, the 3D presets. So I'll link that in the description as well. Or if you want to grab all of my packs 60% off, I'll also link my all-in-one bundle in the description so you can check that out as well. But yeah, I guess that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please consider the like button and also go over to my channel, and I got a lot of videos on my channel. So yeah, if you want to learn VFX and more, make sure to like go through my channel and watch all the videos. You'll get a lot of knowledge for free. And to lock in with the sauce, please hit the subscribe button. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna see you on the next video. Peace.